What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Daily Refinement. My name is Chris Lynn. If you're just tuning into my channel, I run an online shop. I sell mainly clothing and shoes. And today I want to talk about universal basic income because a lot of people have been asking me since I've been starting this journey, can I really make a full-time living selling stuff online? When can I quit my job? And I guess my first question is always, how much money do you need to not work? How much money do you need to survive? What is that number? And then what is the amount of money and what systems do you need to create that reality? Reselling is kind of a dirty job, to be honest. You're selling people's discarded goods, whether it be liquidation or stuff that you thrift or maybe stuff you're going to throw away. There's people who do dumpster diving. There's so many different methods of getting inventory, but it is a dirty job and it's a very high paying dirty job. And I think that a lot of trade jobs are starting to go away, or maybe there's a threat of automation. So this is an awesome opportunity to build a side gig while you might actually lose your potentially lose some income. So I want to get into this topic. What would you guys do with an extra $1,000? If you guys are in the chat, please hit the like button. Let me know if you can hear me okay. But I want to go over, what would you do with an extra $1,000? And I've broken down reselling into a few different categories, and maybe you guys can throw in the chat which of these categories you would use that extra $1,000 that presidential perspective, President Yang is trying to run on, right? So I have historically been against free money, right? So it's like, should you just do what's valuable to the market instead of looking for a handout? If you are a truck driver and your job gets replaced by Elon Musk's auto-driving trucks, should you just learn how to code? There's like that hashtag learn how to code that's trending. It's gotten people blocked. I think it's relevant because this is crazy. I did not know this. So 30% of America graduates from college, right? I thought the number was lower than that. So that's amazing. 30% of people graduate with college, but half of jobs are food prep, transportation costs, clerical work, stuff that can be automated. So half of all total jobs don't require a college degree, and everyone's working to automate these jobs. So potentially you have millions of people out of work, and what do, right? So I don't know if I'm against universal basic income anymore, but let's just say you had an extra $1,000. What are you going to pump it into? Are you going to do more purchasing? Are you going to buy more inventory? Are you going to prep more items? Are you going to get some new photography equipment, invest in some infrastructure shelves? Or does it not affect your business at all? Do you put that money straight in the savings? Do you take that money, quit reselling, and move back home with your parents so you don't have to work anymore? Can you survive on that? And theoretically, if you could keep your expenses under $1,000 and you live with your parents, that's a wrap. You're done. You don't have to work anymore. But I'm looking for some more practical advice for people who want to grow their business and people who want to win and grow. And that's something that I have had a lot of extra time since I've become a reseller, and I get to listen to a lot of podcasts and do a lot more audiobooks, and I feel very different right now because I have the opportunity to watch all these events unfold online. And so what would you guys do in the chat? Would you spend more on purchasing? Would you spend more on prepping, sorting? Would you use it to invest in relationships? Would you take a trip to visit a bunch of suppliers in China? What do you do with $1,000 a month? It's not a lot over 1 month, but over the course of a year, $12,000 adds up. What would you guys use that cash for? Let me know in the chat. Jennifer is saying she would invest in some stocks. Yuri would say you would invest in Yu-Gi-Oh cards. You would 10x it. That's great, drummer. Yeah, and it definitely depends on what you use. I'm really curious what you guys would use it for. Maya says a storage unit and a helper and save it. I think that they say 56% of people would have trouble paying a $1,000 emergency. And that's, kind of the reason why this guy came up with this, universal basic income is not a new concept. Sorry, this is not something that Andrew Yang invented. It's just being popularized right now because he's running for president under that term of free money, which is also not uncommon. That's how Trump is president, basically promising tax cuts, right? Free money is usually how you get elected, but this is more straightforward. It's like literally $1,000 for every person. He was like, if there's anything the government's actually good at, it's distributing a bunch of checks. So you get your $1,000 paycheck each month. What do you do with it? Connor's asking if eBay sellers have to pay sales tax. Definitely. If you have a resale license, you don't have to pay sales tax when you resell. But if you don't pay sales tax and you're doing, like, let's say retail arbitrage, you can be banned or blacklisted, like Target. As you know, Jack, my friend Jack reminded me this morning, they can ban you if you use your tax exempt too often because they don't like resellers. In fact, they have a no reseller policy because it messes with their traffic. They use door busters to get people to come to the store to buy stuff. They're not using door busters so you can make a profit reflipping it on Amazon, right? So but the reality is there's so many deal hunters out there that it's making it hard to, drive traffic to a site. Maury is saying pay off your student loan quicker. Yeah, that's one thing that's huge. There's the student loan epidemic is crazy, and I actually didn't know this. I know this is this is I this is common knowledge for most, but I didn't know it because I went to school on a scholarship and I did not have any student loan debt. So totally different situation than a lot of people. But let's say I didn't know the student loans were already paid to the college and these companies are holding all these loans. I thought, oh, if we don't allow student loans anymore, how are the colleges would go out of business, but that's not true. The colleges are being paid basically. So if we were able to not have college get more and more and more expensive, because it's 2.5 times more expensive than it was like 10 years ago, but not 2.5 times better. And for most, dropping 20 to 200 grand for college is really, really, really expensive. And there's a lot of people looking for alternatives. I mean, you can make a full-time living on YouTube. You can make a full-time living reselling. It is crazy. It's funny that Jack was saying he was banned from Target this morning for basically resale because they're struggling. Retail is having a hard time right now. They don't want resellers taking advantage of their doorbusters. They want regular good old folk going in there and going into their store and walking all the way to the back to see the coupon and buying stuff they don't need on the way. What's up, Anthony? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I'm really at this point wondering about the state of the economy. I made a course on reselling with Prince Patel, and we were talking about how to make $1,000 a week. And then we realized with all these emails coming in that most people can get by on $2,000 a month. Not just like, we were thinking $1,000 a week is like you're barely getting by, but a ton of people get by on way less than that comfortably and still save money. So it was pretty eye-opening to see just how many emails we got from people saying, look, we don't even need to make $1,000 a week. $500 a week already changes our lives completely. How do we do that? So, it's a very interesting topic, but my basic rule is whatever you need to make per year, that's the amount of inventory you need listed. So let's say you go $52,000 is $1,000 a week. You have $52,000 worth of stuff listed, right? Let's say you flip it twice in a year for 104 grand total revenue, and 50% of it is profit because you are a hustler and you're getting all your stuff from garage sales, and you only pay 10 grand, sold it for 104, and you net 52. That's incredible. That's sort of the business that you need to build. Most people, though, do not ever get over 20,000 listed. They don't list enough to really have a big enough cash flow. They have to sell things really, really quick because of a cash flow problem. And then what ends up happening is you have to cheap sell items and you end up ruining the market because you flood it and don't give it enough time to get the amount of money that you need per item. And that makes it hard to scale your business. So that's why our advice is always keep your job reinvest money into your resale business until you have a lot listed, or at least the capital to buy stuff that sells quick. You don't need to have $52,000 worth of stuff listed. You could have $2,000 worth of stuff listed and just continuously turn it over really, really, really quick. That's what my photographer does. He's only buying stuff that sells within 30 days. If it doesn't sell within 30 days, I buy it because I'm willing to wait 5 months to sell my stuff, right? So it's totally different. But he wants to cash out quick. He doesn't want any inventory. We have a different inventory code in my system. So if you guys are trying to implement having your contractors or your employees put stuff in your store, which I think is great, it gives me the boost. And they care about their items. So whenever James, my photographer, throws stuff in the store, he's like, wow, I really do take a lot more time on my items. Maybe I should, earn my pay a little bit more by taking more time on Chris's items as well. I have a little shelf for him. It's called JP, and that's where he stores his item. It's a great way to subsidize. Let's see. If you sell something on eBay, you have to pay sales tax if it's in your state. You're supposed to collect sales tax in your state. I'm not a CPA, but you're supposed to. You can play dumb and be like, "Oh, I didn't know." But if you are earning a lot of money, that's not going to work. So it just depends. Right now, you can kind of fly under the radar because, again, like less than 20% of sales are done online, right? It's still not the majority. But as it gets more mature, the tax man's going to be calling. That's like, my biggest expense for everyone who does this for a living. Your biggest expense is probably tax. See, Maury is a perfect example. Earns $2,000 a month, but has $600 in student loans. That's crazy. That's just like the state of the country. There's a lot of student loans. There's a lot of angry people, and I think that's why people are so trigger happy lately. It's very, very hard to it's hard to stay positive sometimes. I can see that, but I think everyone just try to focus on daily progress. That's the name of this channel. John has 160K listed right now. So I would be surprised, John, if you don't earn six figures in at least revenue with that, unless you have a very slow sell-through rate. 160 grand, even a horrible month of 5% sell-through rate is $8,000 in sales a month. And the only reason you would have 5% sell-through rate is if you sold really rare high-end one-off items. John's saying now he does 10 grand a month in sales. So you'd probably sell rare items at a higher profit. That's what would cause that kind of revenue stream. That would just be me guessing without knowing your store, John. Beverly, what's going on? Yeah, if you have, I can usually guess what you sell if you tell me what kind of stuff is in, well, how much you have listed and what your revenue is. Like if you if you are online and you think the world is falling, it's probably from people who are selling one-off items that are low in demand, right? No one who's selling Nintendo Switches is like, man, I can't move these. I can't move this top 10 toy. That's like not possible. No one who sells really popular stuff has that problem. They have no inventory. And that's something that you can definitely look into. Maya's saying she has 90K listed, but she's still not balling. It takes time to grow, but I'm excited to meet up with her this weekend in New York City. So if you guys are going to be in Brooklyn or nearby, you're on the East Coast, I'm going to do some more meetups this year. But on Sunday, we're going to meet at a Whole Foods. I'll put the details on Instagram shortly. I just want to meet some people, have a brew and talk about how you guys are building your resale business. It's nice to have some friends locally. I need to do that more here. I feel like I'm a cave dweller. I just, work in my store all day and then I pop up and say hello and then come back. I used to do these videos daily and I think I will soon. But I just need to get more organized. And now to be honest, I don't, I want to cut my resale day off at 2:00 because if I don't have a hard cutoff, I'm just never going to stop working. So by 12:00, I want to stop describing. And then by 2:00, I want to stop shipping. And then that's it. The rest of the day, I want to make one of these videos and talk about this with the state of the world with you guys. If you guys could help me by smashing that like button, that would be awesome. And then, obviously I'm getting married soon. I want to spend my time with her, working on, building a life together. That's very exciting to me. Yeah, John is all thrifted clothing, shoes, and accessories. Fantastic. I'm gonna get back into that. So, if you guys have been looking at I have two stores that I share publicly. One is 100 new listings daily. That's on eBay. 100 new daily is the Poshmark um, username for that store. That store is around $200,000 worth of stuff listed, right? I just built that since Halloween. So Halloween was the first day. I haven't listed anything in the Daily Refinement store since then because I've been just testing some new procedures. But the Daily Refinement store has sold down, and now I'm going to start it over and be a little bit more what John was saying in the thrifted model because it's fun. I like thrifting, and I'd like to go back to that model and look around because I live in an area with 200 thrift stores. I live in California. One more thought, John, on that. So, wow, you have a gigantic closet, 6,300 items on Poshmark. That's insane. That might be the biggest closet I've ever heard of. I have, let me see how many items I have active. I have 6,000 items live on Poshmark, and I have I'd say roughly $1,100 a day in sales on Poshmark. But I do a lot of the dirty work on Poshmark that no one wants to do, which is I sell a lot of cheap items. So people don't necessarily like doing that because they're like, well, I want to maximize my time. And from my point of view, I've been in sales my entire life, and the people who do the most volume almost always have the highest net profit, net total profit, not margin. So like if you have the most sales, usually you net the most money. So I know it's hard to believe that because people are like, oh, they don't make any money, but I haven't heard that to be the case. I don't know anybody who's doing $500,000-600,000 in sales and they don't make a comfortable living. Like, I've never heard of that. Like, usually when you have that many sales, you figure out a way to get some margin out of it. Do I go every day to the thrift store? No, I don't. I would say I'm 95% wholesale. Okay, but it's not fun. It's not fun. Um, I feel like what is that animal called? The groundhog, right? I just go into my hole and I'm just, doing stuff and then I pop out and it's not that fun. I think this is why like a lot of Amazon sellers that I meet are a little bit disoriented because they don't they're just looking at spreadsheets all day. That's kind of a weird existence, right? I like going out to thrifting because it's fun. I want to go back out. And I love the Rally Roots model where they're like 80-20, 80% wholesale, 20% thrifting. But that's fun to talk about. I want to talk about finding a cool North Face backpack that's vintage and a metal frame and that a design firm picks up. That's cool. That's fun. That's like the life. And then you go out there and you meet people and you can see what they're doing. That's the fruit of life. And just making money by grinding it out wholesale is all right, and most of the people I know that make the most money, like Larry Labarsky, watch me Amazon doing, $20 million in sales or whatever. That's wholesale, right? You can't thrift that much stuff, guys. It's not possible, but he's mastered a different game. And also, I want to just throw out there that the people who make the most money, they usually have the most fun. I know there's like some kind of negative feeling towards rich people, but I don't have that. And I don't know any rich people who are not nice. So I don't know. I don't despise the rich. Yeah, it's true. Duncan is saying the only thing with online selling is it's tiring and you need to take a break. I agree. I would say that, excuse my language, but 80% of reselling is bitch work. It's like um, horrible, not horrible, but like it's very taxing work. It's hard work, hard work. Just reselling most of the time. Like some of the time it's great and fun. Treasure hunting is awesome, but a lot of it is a little bit challenging. JM is asking how long should an item stay on the listings if not sold? So I was talking about that this morning with my mastermind call. So this morning we did a deep dive into sorting, and the conversation was. How do you sort? And some people sort by how fast things sell. Okay, so if it's going to sell right away, okay, you throw that in, you list it right now. If it's going to sell in a year, let's say right now you just picked up a Christmas ornament, probably you should wait till Christmas, right? What would be the reason of cheap selling that right now? If you're going to buy it, just wait until Christmas to sell it, because why? If you're seasonal, you have to wait. So it depends. That answer is a good question. Um, I know it's cold here for some reason. I'm working on my base layer game, so hopefully you guys that live in places that are actually cold, let me know what's up. And I'm gonna do a thermal underlayer, a vest, then a hoodie, then like I guess like a hard shell on top. I'm not even sure of the term, just because 60 degrees here is freezing. So I know it'd be shorts weather in New York City. Have I moved to mainly OA instead of going thrifting? Yeah, I have. The majority of my sourcing is online. I'm trying to copy my friend Prince. He's like one of the most successful people I know. He didn't even have a car while he was building his giant business. So, um, yeah, that's just true. So JB Phipps is saying when you look at global companies like Black and Decker owning the big name brands, yeah, I mean the name of the game right now I feel like is $20 to $50 brand new items. Those companies seem to be doing well. When you try to, sell expensive stuff, have a high ASP, generally it means your overall profit's very low because you have very low profit, total profit. Margin high. When people say, "Oh, I only make $1,000 per sale," I'm like, you probably are poor. People who do that are probably poor, because how many of those can you really find, right? So one per 2 months is not as good as the person thrifting. I know plenty of people. There was an Instagram account that I follow. Well, I don't know what Michelle's username is, but her store like is 3,000 items, and the best item is like Old Navy, because where she lives there are no good brands. She lives in an area where it's horrible. So she give up? No. Does she complain? No. She still makes a great living. She owns her house. She's putting herself through school because she knows her niche. She's like only buying certain kinds of Old Navy. She's buying plus size. She's just making it work, and she lists around 40 items a day. Okay, so she's making it work even without all these excuses that people are talking about. Oh, I can't find good stuff in my area. How about there is no good stuff in your area, and she still makes a great living, right? So it just depends on what you do in your area, how well you understand your niche, right? And I'm not doing store reviews anymore because it was the same thing over and over again, which is like, make your titles better, make your photos better, make your description better, make your pricing more competitive, make your shipping more easier to understand. So I actually got a big boost on the in sales because of the postal increase, right? So what I did was I raised my prices $2 and I reduced my shipping $2. So right when that postal hike happened, a whole bunch of people raised their prices, and I did $3.99 shipping just for a couple of days, and I killed it for some reason. The algorithm was like, "Whoa, this guy is doing something different." I don't know. Maybe it was just lucky, but I figure why not take advantage of everybody panicking and being on social media complaining. I'm just going to go in there and clean up real quick because everyone's complaining right now. It's a perfect time to go in there and make some changes in the opposite direction. I had more sales even though my overall price is higher. I like raised my sale price up and reduced my shipping costs, and I think people were happy. And people will say, "Oh, are you losing money?" I'm gonna lose money. I sell mainly shoes and I only charge $6.79. So that's not it's not enough to cover my average shipping costs. I'm just doing it because it sounds reasonable. Do I have a video on how I list so fast? Rachel, that's a good question. So I am going to make that video soon. I need some feedback. So if you guys can email me or put in the comment section below, after you hit the like button, put a comment on what you need to know that helps you list faster. But I am around 40 an hour. I list around 40 items an hour, all in said and done. But I do have help. So that's why I'm trying to condense my eBay of 200 listings a day into 5 hours. It's not quite there yet, but JM was asking, are we documenting problems and issues to lean processes and workflow? Yes, everything here is based on lean, and it was very hard to get my photographer to do that. It was very easy to get my VAs to do that. Okay, so I told my VAs, look, I'm going to pay you 40 cents a listing no matter what. Okay, so it's in your best interest to list as fast as possible so you can earn as much money as possible. And my VAs combined, I pay around $8 an hour, which is, it's almost, I mean, so it's $8, but it's a husband and wife team that work for me. And they're explaining to me that in their area where they live, $6 an hour is considered a six-figure income. Okay. So that is insane. Okay. So it's possible that my VAs, who I pay $4 an hour individually, have a higher standard of living than I do in some respects, at least like housing costs and food and et cetera. So sorry, I lost my train of thought, but the listing procedure, right? Oh, lean. This is back to lean. Sorry. Lean is very important. So James, my photographer, once he started to see like 2-3 months of lean working, because I was like, okay, whatever, I'll do lean, and then you just watch it. And he's like, man, my job is so much easier now. Like today, sometimes it would take him until 6 or 7 o'clock at night to make enough money. Today he was done at 11 o'clock. He worked from 6 to 11 and went home. He did 200 items between 6 a.m. and 11 a.m. and then went home. So we cooked tacos together. We had, for the first time ever, actual Taco Tuesday. So but yeah, we had enough time. I'm done early today. Usually at this point, I'm struggling to get to the post office, but just a little bit more organization, lean stuff. Like this sounds silly, but Muji has these toothbrush holders. So I put my pen in it, and I put it right next to where there's only a few things that I do. I will notate a defect on an item, or I'll sign the international label, right? I put the pen in this holder right next to where I use it. I know it sounds dumb, but like that tiny improvement over the entire process where I can reach all the shipping supplies left of me, all the stuff that I'm listing, this is a massive improvement, Maya. You want to know the biggest improvement right now? The biggest improvement is from 6 a.m. till 2 p.m., I don't have to move anywhere. Everything is here. All the items I describe are right to the right of me, right? I can reach all of them. There's 6 shelves, more than 200 items I can list without moving. They're right to the right of me. After I'm done listing it, it goes to my left, and to the left is where my photo station is. And then from there, it goes to my storage unit. So the biggest improvement is not having to move at all. Everything is here. In my mastermind call this morning, we were talking about sorting. So I want to have 1 week worth of stuff on 5 of these shelves stacked up to the right of me. So when I'm done, I can describe it, move the entire shelf that's on wheels to the photography area. It gets put away. And then when I finally get a commercial space, I can use that rack and roll it and put stuff away. That'll be a very easy peasy. Right now, I'm trying to figure out where I can get 1,000 square feet. So 1,000 square feet is what's up. Anthony is asking, can you play video games and still make a comfortable living? I think so. I think if you started a Twitch channel where you talked about business and played games, people would watch it. And if you want to do YouTube for a living, you can make a six-figure income with only 1,000 subscribers if you have a product that costs $30 and is worth it, right? So as an example, the guide that I'm going to make video version, I 100% can charge $30 for it, but I'm just going to do it for free. So I'm actually, full disclosure, I'm going to link my registry to it. I'm going to link my wedding registry to this video that I make and say, look, okay, this, I should be charging for this, but it's free. Just contribute what you can to my wedding registry so that you can help me have a fruitful marriage. And I appreciate that, but you don't have to do that. But I'm going to make this video, and hopefully I'll be able to pay for some stuff. That would be helpful. But I don't want to do YouTube for a living. I every time I think about doing YouTube for a living, it makes it not fun, and I end up not making videos for 2 weeks. I'd rather just do it for fun. Come on here, talk to random people, and be good. Flip Flops All Day is asking about how much is 1,000 square feet. I would say that electricity, all in, probably 2,500 to 3,200 for 1,000 square feet if you count all expenses, CAM, um, garbage, internet, electricity, all that stuff added together. I'd say around, when I was looking at commercial spaces, they're saying between 35 and 40 grand a year is what you can expect to pay. So it's not for the faint of heart. Yeah, it's a big jump. So, and another reason why I want to get a commercial space is just for fun. Like it's not necessary. You do not have to do that. I just think that I want a man cave. That's the only reason that I need that. I don't need it at all. I just want a man cave. I want to drive my car into it. That's just so dope. I mean, just for me. I don't know if any of you think that that's cool. I personally think it's cool to be able to park your car in your warehouse. It's just like I don't know. I like that idea. In California, it's a little more expensive than most places, but you know, reselling has been good to me. So hopefully I can just park in there and but yeah, if you want to do um YouTube for a living, or you want to have a lifestyle project, or you want to be a life coach, you can do that. And all you have to do is provide basic coaching for people, and you can start earning a living that way too. I just don't want to do that as my main thing. I want to resell for a living and do this for fun. But I will tell you how I'll set it up. So the 6 questions that I'm taking this leadership training that you ask people, you do not need to be an expert to coach people. That is garbage. Okay, it is garbage. You do not have to be an expert. You just have to be good at asking questions. So I'm going to go over these questions on every freaking one of my videos because they're so awesome, because it's really, really, really helped me level up, guys. Okay, first one is, did you do your best to set goals? Right? Clear goals, specific goals. If I say, what time are you going to list tomorrow? And you can tell me what time of day you're going to list, you're like 99% more likely to do it than if you're just like, whenever I'm free. That's not a good enough answer. Okay. That means you're not listing at all. That means you're going to watch Game of Thrones for 9 hours. Okay. Next thing is, did you do your best to make progress in achieving your goals? What does that mean? Can you write down something that you actually did to improve it? So today, I think I wrote down, I'm going to add in the verbiage of my description, I'm going to put, if it's listed, it's available. Please watch the item. We drop prices on Friday. Okay, so I'm adding that in because I want people to watch my item on Poshmark, and I want them to watch it on eBay, because I do discounts, and I want them to get the reminder. So if it's too expensive now, don't worry, we're going to discount it on Fridays. And I don't discount it every Friday, but that's one thing that I'm adding. So that's, if I were to ask myself, did I do something specific today to improve my eBay store? Yes, I did. It's on this little thing. I'm going to go to a coffee shop after this call and add that in. Okay, so Maya was pointing out on my store, Chris, your descriptions are horrible. I'm sorry, your titles are horrible. And they were, because I was training a VA to list for me, and these were the titles on Poshmark. Nike, black, and then inventory number. Like, that's it. Nike, black. Like, no category, no subcategory, no style number, nothing. Just literally Nike basketball 649. Like that, like nonsense, right? And all the information, of course, is in my description, so it still populates on Poshmark. But I was trying to coach, like, okay, the title needs to be different on Mercari, Poshmark, and eBay, because the title links are different. And it takes time to get people to be able to do that for you. You can't fire people if they don't do the titles correctly. Now, if you look at my titles, it's very specific. It's like Nike, black, basketball, Kevin Durant, 2, size 9, right? It's like perfect now. It gives the buyer all the information they need to buy, but it took a long time for the VA to learn how to do that, right? You can't expect people to do it like you. And in my opinion, you should teach your people to be better than you. What's the point of people? If it's their job to describe for you, eventually you should be able to do it perfectly. Okay. Let's see. You mean night shifted workers? Wait, I'm sorry, I missed a whole bunch of stuff. So John says he pays $1,600 a month for 1,600 square feet. That's Awesome. That is awesome. And Denver is one of the cities that my fiance and I are potentially going to relocate to, because I'm from Utah. Um, don't like Utah that much, so it's not really on my list of places to be. I would hang out with Hustle at Home Mom if I lived in Utah because she's cool, but there's no, and I'm only friends with resellers now for some reason, so I don't like the diversity of thought in Utah. And I'm gonna touch on this for just a tiny bit because this is my YouTube channel. I didn't know that women made a lot of money when I lived in Utah. I did not know that. Okay. When I grew up, all of my female friends were getting married in college, like before the age of 23. So many of them. I was senior class president. More than 90% of my class was married by our 5-year reunion. Okay. So I didn't have any concept of women being career women. Then I was not comfortable with Utah. I'm not Mormon. I'm not white. So like it's a pretty big minority there. I moved to New York City, and the first dinner I sat down, right? Every single lady at the table made six figures. I didn't even know that was possible. Okay. Like I didn't know, let alone like it just blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. All women in their 20s, all of them making six figures. And I'm like, what planet is this? It's so weird. Like I barely knew any guys that made six figures in Utah, right? And here we are, totally flipped on its head. Women are hunting men. They don't need. They can completely support a guy. I literally dated a girl that told me I would not need to work at all if I dated her. That was the completely, it was so foreign to me. I'm like, I can't even hang out with you, let alone date you, because that concept is so strange to me. I would not know what to do. um let's see here. Wow, there's so much stuff. Sorry, let me think about this. Um thank you guys for, I do know a lot about eBay, but I'm not necessarily the most successful person on eBay, but I do know a lot about it because I talk about it all day. I will do ASMR. I have both. I have two of these mics, so I'll learn how to do that. That's a passion project of mine. I want to learn how to whisper to people and have them fall asleep. Twitch streaming, I can't consult you on it because I don't do it, but there's plenty of very, very successful Twitchers. What site do I recommend for VA? I use Upwork. Um, I like onlinejobs.ph as well, but Upwork, I've hired over 50 VAs in my life. And that would also be an awesome course for me to make for people. But again, YouTube is not what I'm doing for a living. But if it was, I would make some courses on how to hire a VA. And I would probably have a service like you pay me $1,000 and you tell me what your process is, and I'll hire a VA to do it for you. And it'd probably take me 2 days to do that. And it would take me 2 days to find 4 or 5 people who could do that, and then we would need to stay in touch for 6 weeks while you train them. Yeah, Utah is this trip. It's a trip. I just growing up there, man, it is a trip. There's just so little diversity of thought there. Although it does have an alternative crowd, but because there's not a diversity of thought, everyone who's not Mormon and on the church side is like way to the left. And I'm just like, there's more in between that. I don't want to live in a place that's that divided and bipolar. Um, let's see. Yeah, Diane, I do think about that a lot. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this. So this YouTube channel is a little bit selfish because as I try to teach you guys what little I do now, it helps me understand the process more. You want some motivation hypnosis? So I think that the best motivation is music. So smash the like button if you agree with me. But a certain song can change your physiology. I like to listen to loud techno music while I describe. So I don't know if you guys do that, but I cannot describe without loud techno music because it's just so painful for me. I need this, David Goggins is this Navy SEAL I love, and he's like, I don't listen to anything when I run because I don't want people to say that I'm successful because of the music I listen to. I want it to just be my raw willpower. And I'm not hardcore like that. I need to listen to something hardcore in order to do it because it's just so hard for me. Describing is so hard, but ever since I started describing my items, my sales are just fantastic. Yeah, that's true, Zine. There's nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home dad, but I don't use that terminology anymore. I use provide from home person because it's too much. I have to be PC. This is true. Lenny is saying that there's no diversity of thought in the Bay Area. I have never met a Trump supporter in person here, right? And that's crazy. That's crazy, right? I live in a place where there's 0 Trump supporters, not one person. So it is very interesting living here. Bay Area needs to support housing for the homeless. There are so many homeless people here. I can't even. James and I, my photographer, we went to Starbucks, and this guy was like, "Can you buy us a cup of coffee?" And we're like, "No," because you're always here. Like, is there like a do you need us to buy you a cup of coffee? And he's like, forget you guys. Then we watch this guy go into Starbucks and buy his own coffee. It's just crazy. Jelly Roll Radio. Yeah, that's a great way to do it. Haystack as well. So if you want to listen to me, I'm not joking. I listen to loud techno music while I'm describing. That part's very hard for me. And I listen to podcasts and audiobooks while I'm shipping. But describing is very hard for me. I can't do it. Maybe you guys can give me some tips on how to focus, but I have to put these headphones on and listen to loud techno music to describe, like, chest to chest measurement, 22 inches, length 31 inches, sleeve is this. There's a slight tear on the left arm. It's so brutally difficult for me to do that I just need loud blaring music. And James knows not to talk to me during that time because I will bite his head off because I'm in such a interesting. Actually, I just changed it. I was saying it was hell, but I told James, sorry, bro, I got to get back to the party. I'm trying to change the thought. I'm calling it a party now. That's why I'm listening to this loud music. Yeah, it's crazy. It's hard. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. He wants to do it for raw willpower. He wants to prove that he doesn't need any motivation, just himself. He's the hardest man on earth. I'm not that hard. I'm squishy, and I need to listen to some music that's hardcore to give me that. I need to listen to him or CT Fletcher to get, like, deep in my soul so I can bring it out. And I'm just too much of a snowflake. True. Yeah, if I wore a MAGA hat here, man, I don't want to get my car keyed. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, exactly, John. So if you have, okay, this happened to me. This happened to me a week ago. My VA listed 400 items. Get this, with the quantity as the price. So I had 400 items go up with $1 plus shipping, right? And my average sale price is $36. And man, that was crazy because he listed it all, and then immediately, like, because he starts listing at 5 p.m. Because he's in the opposite time zone. So, like, my phone starts going off with, this is amazing, okay? My phone starts going off with people saying, "Can you combine shipping?" And I'm like, holy shit. You're gonna pass up $1 free shipping? And it saved me because I was able to go in there and I only had 2 sales that happened. It saved me. And I actually sent them a thank you letter. Thank you so much for being cheap and not just buying it for $1. So I could, change the price to a reasonable amount. Man, people are cheap. Like, if you see a brand new pair of shoes for $1 free shipping, hopefully I'll message them for a discount. But again, maybe I'm doing it wrong. I know heavy dubstep is what's up, but I need it. Would I ever consider doing a live working hangout to show us your process? Yes. So I just bought the thing that changes the camera angle. So I actually want to do that because I'm a big fan of Joe Rogan. He's like my favorite podcaster. So that's why I bought all the same equipment as him for no reason. I have 30,000 subscribers. He has 4 million subscribers. I just decided, you know what? I want the same setup as him. Money is no object. So and my show is only one person, and I bought both mics just because I thought it would be funny. But I will set up multiple camera angles so you guys can see how this actually works. Because I think it's useful to share, and hopefully you guys will pay it forward. Your biggest distraction is your phone. Agreed. That's one of the reasons why people join my mastermind call, because it's at 6 in the morning. So what happens is they're like, "Don't bother me. I'm paying for this call," and then they get on the call, get some ideas, and they execute. Because if you work at home, you need some hard barriers to let people know that you can't be bothered. That's right, Lanny. I will come to the Valley. Oh man, I might need to do that because it's so expensive to live here. Once I get a Model S, then I can drive myself to work, or drive myself to the city to eat something more. I don't even know. At this point, I miss, because I'm in the suburbs right now, I miss living in the city where I can walk around and be more into the culture. But cooking at home is really nice. Taco Tuesday is great when you can make it at home. Just cooking for one person sucks. Larry says, "Oh yeah. So your biggest distraction is your phone. I don't have anything on my phone except for, let's see, check this out. This is gonna blow your mind. You guys ready? You want to see the backdrop of my phone? It only has 4 applications on it. I don't even have the phone calling or the messaging. Right? It doesn't have anything. It just has the Poshmark app, the Photos app, Dropbox, and a camera. There's nothing to do except for work. So I don't know if you guys want to do something like that, but if you guys are finding this useful, please hit the smash button, or smash the like button. Wow, I'm not even drinking. Let's see. You need help with Poshmark. Do I have space in my mastermind group? Yep, my mastermind group is still open. It's at patreon.com/daily refinement. It's $100 a month, but if you hit your goal, you get your $100 back. I need people in the group that are motivated to do well. So if you can't afford it, it's free. So I'm not even worried about it. If you do find it useful though, since I do it 5 days a week, you can let me keep the $100. But you have to basically subscribe at that level. It doesn't even charge you till the first of the month. Patreon is a little bit annoying. I probably have had 75 people over the last year join for 29 days. So it's kind of annoying, but that's just the reality. And this is why, I was thinking, do I even want to be friends with resellers? Because they're so cheap. They don't see the value like in things. They're trying to get everything for free. And that's not the kind of person that I want to be around. I want to be around people who are generous. And a lot of resellers I meet are not generous. They are, to be honest, kind of like ugly people on the inside. A lot of resellers are nasty people. That's not saying a lot of them are not awesome. I mean, all of my friends are resellers. So hopefully, you guys aren't getting too turned off by this, but I've met a lot of resellers I don't like. So they're just sort of like unemployable. That's why they're resellers. I won't go down that topic because I don't want 1,000 negative comments, but how many listings do I think is sustainable for one person? A one-person solo operation, 50 to 100 listings a week, $20 profit. That's how I would do it. I would not do less than $20 profit solo. If it's one-offs, if it's replenishables, sure, $3 is fine, or $1 if you can get tons of them. But one-person operation, you shouldn't have thousands of items. It's too hard. Unless you want to hurt yourself and you enjoy that. But it is so hard. And I don't know if you guys follow Drive Time with Dave. He's one of Rockstar Flipper's friends, pseudo uncle. I don't know their relationship, but he's at Dave's house sometimes. He talks about 40 a day is the high end of a very, very, very motivated person. I agree. 40 a day is brutal. You have to be really good at your job to do 40. That's very hard. The bins that I use are from Target. So they're 16 by 12 by 23. They're $5. Yeah. How do I load pictures on Dropbox? So, Keisha, I on my phone, this is my non-work phone. But my work phone, Um, I have the settings set up so that they automatically upload. So I take the photos and then on the checklist, which is another lean thing, at the end of the day, James, he sweeps the area and then he opens Dropbox so the photos start to sync. Because Dropbox is pretty smart. It doesn't upload while you're taking pictures because it doesn't want to interfere with the device. So when he leaves the phone open and the phone transfers, and he's done usually 1 or 2 o'clock, and then the listers don't start until 5 p.m. So you're right, it does take a little bit of time. Do I dry clean used shirts? I do. I actually have an agreement with the dry cleaner nearby for $1 a shirt. I don't sell a lot of shirts anymore, but I do dry clean 100% of them now because I have $1 a listing. Makes it look a lot better, and then they sell for a lot more. Yeah, see, Duncan is saying that too. 200 listings a day. And Duncan is a seasoned pro. He's doing this very well. So 40 a day is pretty much the upper limit of a person without killing yourself. Costco has good bins that are clear. Costco does have good bins. They're like 3 for 10 or something. Yard season's all year here. What is my current monthly sell-through rate? My current monthly sell-through rate is probably 30%. It depends on what you sell. If you sell Christmas items, your sell-through rate should be 1 year. I think you should give yourself 2 Christmases to sell all this stuff. But if you are selling Nintendo games, your sell-through rate should be less than 1 month. What do I think about eBay's future? eBay is going to be just fine. eBay gets more users every month. eBay is not getting easier to use, which is great for us. If you guys are watching this channel and you're a full-time reseller or part-time reseller, you don't want it to be easier to sell on eBay. So if it's hard to use, that's good. You don't want it to be so easy like Poshmark. Whenever they do a promotion, I feel like the site just floods with millions of listings because it's so freaking easy. Which kudos to them. They have one of the easiest apps I've ever used to sell stuff. Like, and I'm actually going to be disappointed if I'm not eventually the largest Poshmark seller. I know that sounds kind of weird to say, but like, I really like Poshmark. It's not going to have the same amount of sales as eBay. eBay is always going to be better because eBay just has more traffic. But I like the website; it's cool, and I do have aspirations to be the largest Poshmark seller ever. So I'm working on that. PayPal is a backend processor. I don't think it matters too much. If people want the item, they'll find a way to pay. But I do think it's a mistake it's a mistake for them to talk about it. They should just use Adyen as their backend processor and just not talk about it. Airbnb uses Adyen; they don't talk about it. You should talk about other stuff. That's so not important to me as an eBay user. I want to know about what are you doing to bring more people to the platform? What are you doing to make it easier as a business seller? I don't care about your backend processor. That shouldn't affect me at all. But I mean, I shouldn't be thinking about that. I don't care which payment processor you use. It honestly, that shouldn't matter. IKEA has, I didn't know IKEA has clear bins. Let's check it out. I did not have success with the IKEA paper bins. Those just got destroyed. I don't know how to like the remaining ones that I have, I have to tape the edges so that they don't tear. They don't last very well. Mark is saying, how do I crop each photo taken from a DSLR? I purchased a DSLR that takes square photos. But I've since switched back to an iPhone because it's faster to upload on the Dropbox. But again, I'm actually not going to switch back to a DSLR. It's, in my opinion, for what I sell, it's good enough, but it depends on what you sell. If you want to use a true DSLR and go that route, you can't do post-production. No one does post-production. Everybody takes photos perfectly without any editing, unless you sell brand new replenishables. Then no matter what camera you have, you should edit the photos. What do I think about flip-flops? I think flip-flops are horrible because of how low the ASP is, unless you can make them yourself out of something very cheap. And even then, I don't want to do it. I mean, like, Nike flip-flops sell for $30 and they have $1 billion advertising budget. What do I sell? Mostly women's or men's. Poshmark, I would say, is more than 90% women's. And then eBay, probably 50-50. That's a great idea. iPod Touch sync to Google Photos is a great system. What do I sell mostly on Poshmark? Mostly women's shoes. What ROI do you hey, what's up? What's up, Ryan Alley? Thanks for checking in. What ROI do I recommend for reseller? I go with the Rally Roots model. Buy for 1/3, sell for 3/3, and net 1/3. Like keep your expenses under a third, buy for a third. I'm at a $36 ASP, so I try to keep my cost $10 or less. Pretty straightforward, but again, it depends on your model. Some people, like Loretta, Thrift Love Sell, she only buys stuff that's 10x, right? Depends on how much time you have. She's a busy mom with two rambunctious boys, and she does not have time to sell stuff for low profit because she only has X amount of time. If you only have 50 items to sell each week, you got to go heavy. You got to get some heavier, higher profit items. You can't sell $5 items if you're a busy mom. How are you going to make enough money for it to matter? You have to learn a niche and learn how to sell rose gold candle holders from the 1970s. You know, I don't even know how she comes up with this stuff that she's selling. If you just follow her Instagram, and I was lucky enough to meet Ryan and Allie and Loretta in Kansas City last year. Beautiful people, lovely people, very, very informative. They give you all the information up front, how to make profit. I mean, Loretta is a beast. And like, she doesn't, like, she's not very intimidating looking. Like she's a petite, what I'm trying to say is that her business acumen is really powerful, and it's not an accident. She has a degree in interior design, and she really, really knows her stuff. That's why she's able to find. She's not randomly picking junk. She's surgically picking items that make her a ton of profit. So she is awesome. Oh man, you guys are too much. I definitely need to visit Florida and visit you guys. I'm sick of. It's not even cold here, but I'm wearing two coats. John's going for 5x his target. How many active listings do I have on Posh? I have little over 6,000 items, 6 to 7,000 on Poshmark. I'd say I sell 20 a day, 20 to 30 a day. That's not that great. 30 a day. I would say 30 a day on average. If I had 5,000 to purchase something to resell, what would I sell? It depends on if I have 5,000 coming in each month to sell, or I don't know. You need to be more specific. If I had only 5,000, I'd probably spend it garage selling. Yeah, I would do that. What's my percentage of replenishables in normal stock? I have 80%, or I'm sorry, 95% wholesale, liquidation, 5% thrifting. But I want to switch to it. I want to go to 80%, 20%, because doing 95% wholesale is like this weird caveman thing where you just disappear and look at spreadsheets all day. And it's like, I wasn't even making YouTube videos because there was so much spreadsheets to look at. It's not a good life. I like the Rally Roots like 80-20 rule, because then I mean, there's no life to live if you're just looking at spreadsheets all day. It's like, ugh. So Supreme is dope. I still sell Supreme. Like I just picked up this pink Supreme hat. Like I buy a lot of stuff on Poshmark to reflip on Poshmark or eBay, because especially I always get in trouble for talking about this, but there's a lot of female people who sell ex-boyfriend stuff. I don't know how else to put it. I feel like there's a lot of ex-boyfriend stuff sold really cheap on Poshmark. I don't know if you guys know about this concept, but like all relationships end, even if it's one person dying. I know that's horribly morbid, not a good joke, but the relationships end and then people sell their ex's stuff on Poshmark. That's what I'm looking for. I'm like, hey, all the time, I'm like, hey, what other stuff do you have? And they're like, you can have it all. So it's a great way to get a mystery box of 5 items for people. I'm super excited for Poshmark to smash Canada and go worldwide and use their shipping discount. New or used on Poshmark, I'm more than 90% used. I haven't been making videos because I've been doing wholesale and just stuck in spreadsheets all day. It's not it's like very weird and just barely coming up and gasping for air. What is my favorite brand to sell? Gucci. 100% Gucci is the shit. I just sold a pair of Gucci loafers, or not loafers, Gucci dress shoes for 375 that I paid 100 for. So amazing flip. I wish I could only sell Gucci. I've had a few people reach out to invest because I was saying I need about 200K to play in the Gucci game the way I want to do it. Um, and I think we would double our money every 6 months if we played the Gucci game, straight Gucci game, 200 grand split each. But I don't know if I want to do that game, but that is a game to play. You got to get in on their special lists, and then when they have the sales, you go in there, and then you get stuff for really, really, really cheap. But they expect you to spend 20, 30 grand. So I kind of want to play that game, but oh man, it's tough. It's a very I got in trouble because I was saying when I go to the Goodwill bins, I let certain people eat first, right? I actually use the term house moms because I learned that term from Joe Rogan. So my term was house moms eat first. Now I know that's politically incorrect. So I say provide from home person. So provide from home people were out gaming me at the Goodwill bins. So I stopped going there because it was too hard. I was like, I have to buy wholesale from these guys or something. I can't get it. So when I go to the Gucci outlet, I feel the same way. Like it's tough to get in there and really get anything because the people who are so aggressive in getting their stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Wow, 70 today. Warm out there. Levi's don't sell well in Europe. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that Levi's don't sell well in Europe, and because I've seen a few suppliers of Levi's from Europe here, so that makes sense. Um, yeah, I can't say stay-at-home mom. I mean, well, I actually use the term house mom because I heard that on Joe Rogan. Like I mentioned, he calls them house moms, and I didn't know that was politically incorrect, so I changed it. Some people do think stay-at-home mom is offensive because they're not like there's ways to interpret that are incorrect. So it's it's you want to use something like provide or work or something, or just try not to mention it. Most of my I don't use offer to likers at all. So it does work, but it's a time suck. So I'm not gonna use it. I'm just going to share my closet, and that's it. All I do is share my closet. I don't follow anybody. Um, I'm only following 3 people on my new closet. And no one knew about my new closet until like a week ago. So there was no social media sales that people. You don't have to be popular to have a successful Poshmark closet. I plan on having the largest Poshmark closet, and I'm gonna have real life Poshmark friends, which is great. And I will tell you that people in the Poshmark community, some of my best reselling friends are in the Poshmark community, which is fantastic. I love them, but I just can't interact with them through the Poshmark app. I'm gonna do it by picking up the phone. I know, right? Clint, my eyes are seriously bleeding from looking the screen. It's brutal. Um, how do you figure your price on Poshmark with the shipping? I see Poshmark less price due to standard shipping costs. I don't know. I have a 3x5 index card that tells me how to price stuff on Poshmark, and I just hope for the best. Do I ever do 99-cent auctions to get rid of inventory? No, I don't do any auctions at all. None. I don't do it, and I also got rid of best offer, so no more best offer. I don't need best offer anymore, so I just got rid of it. It already sells fast enough, and waking up in the morning to all these lowball offers is really a pain. So I just have a standard snippet in my phone because you guys know that once in a while I like to troll customers, not because I'm a okay, I'm a jerk. I'm a jerk, and that's the reason why I like to troll customers. So people are like, "Hey, what's your best offer?" I always respond back like one of a few things that I have saved, which is like, "Sorry, I don't offer myself. I don't offer myself. I don't offer myself things. I'm sorry. I don't make offers to myself." Is one of my answers. Or I'll put, "I don't make offers on things I already own," right? Or I put like, What's the highest you'll pay? I'll put what's the highest you'll pay? No need to respond back. Just make the offer directly, right? That one's a great one. It just depends on what to do. Um, no, I mean, here's the thing though. Here's my opinion on snowflakes. I actually do feel bad. Okay, this is why, and I'm not gonna lie about that. I actually do feel bad. People who are hurt others, and people have tried to use that on me, but like I'm not actually hurt, and I'm not actually racist or sexist. If you guys have actually met me, I don't know. I guess you can make your own. You can make your own opinion, but like I think that people who are triggered easily actually do feel bad about them. Okay, that's why I've since removed the apology video actually because not that I'm not sorry. I am sorry for making them sad, but I don't want to create the I don't want to create a victim world. I want people to be I want to create a victor world. I want to be part of helping people be victorious. And it was funny because Candace Date. What's the lady that Kanye West likes that um, is always called the Uncle Tom? What's this lady's name? Candace something. There's a lady that oh, Candace Owens. Sorry, Candace Owens. She said like Asians don't always have a victor attitude and not a victim mentality. So like when it came out that Harvard was discriminating against Asian people. They didn't complain. I mean, they did file a lawsuit, but they didn't go on Instagram and complain. They just got into Yale and they're still successful and they're still doctors. They just made it work anyway. Like discrimination doesn't stop them. And I have definitely experienced racism in my life, but it doesn't matter to me. It's like for some reason it doesn't affect me. I never tell anybody. I'm not on YouTube talking about it or on Instagram. I don't have that mentality. I feel like I should be able to be successful even with these issues, right? It is interesting. How would I sell 1,000 music DVDs one at a time on eBay? How do I manage dropping prices on eBay? I use the active listing bulk editor, 500 at a time. I drop prices, and I don't necessarily drop prices. Sometimes I raise prices, but I do change prices usually on Friday. That's another tip, guys. My Poshmark store's name is Friday Price Drops. Again, because I'm trying to create some marketing. I want people on the site to be like, oh, he drops his prices. Or actually, it's unisex. My new store doesn't have a gender. It's gender neutral. It's actually cat is the gender of my new store, but that's not an option. So it's unlisted. I have an unlisted gender on my new store. On my old store, though, I had the picture of a girl, but I got in trouble because I said the target demographic of Poshmark is female. Why wouldn't I have a female avatar? I changed my avatar to a neutral avatar, and the Meet the Posher is now me. And you can see, I definitely saw way less engagement because people are not like, hey, can you try this on? I don't have that anymore because it's a dude now, right? Which I think makes the sales go down a little bit. But again, I'm not going to provide any kind of evidence or waste time doing that. I'm just on that situation. My new store is just going to be neutral. It's cat, and I'm just going to stick with that and leave it there until they offer that as an option. I'm just going to leave it neutral, just so people don't have to go one way or the other. They can just assume something. Let's see. Yeah, no, I'm super grateful at this point. I'm very, very, very grateful for reselling. It's so cool. I've met the best people in the world doing it. Um, oh, an extra $1,000 a month. Back to the topic, universal basic income. They're talking about actually doing this. So Vanju Yang is president. He says he's going to give everybody $1,000, and of course, it's not going to affect rich people or people who are doing well. But in certain communities, that's a lot. 9,000 people. That's 90 grand going into that community. That's going to do a whole bunch of different stuff. So it's not free. Obviously, taxpayers will pay for it, and most of it will be paid by the middle class, right? Which is okay with me. Like I get it. Like rich people have ways to get around tax, but they do pay 50% of the tax. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is just what would you do with the extra money? Liddell, NYC, Brooklyn. Whoa, I'm going to Brooklyn on Sunday. If you want to stop by the Whole Foods, you can message me on Instagram. I'm going to be hitting up Whole Foods with some people. There are a lot of people who are disabled, guys. I don't know if you realize this, but eBay is the only option for a lot of people. I met Jack. You guys know Jack from dropshipping. He stayed with me for a couple of weeks. This gentleman, he started eBaying because he was not terminally ill, but very, very ill. Basically, the doctor told him, you are not going to be able to get a normal job at like age 20. Okay, so he's like, how do I make money? That's how he got into drop shipping and created his YouTube channel. Now I'm proud to say he's doing very well, selling courses and talking about stuff on YouTube. God bless him for figuring out a way how to do it with health problems. It's not easy. So feel blessed if you don't have health problems because you have the ability to hustle. See, here's a good question. If universal income was a thing, would people stop working? I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't know if $1,000 can change much, but it does ease the burden a little bit for a lot of people, in my opinion. It is interesting. It's not universal. It's kind of a weird name, universal income. He's calling it a freedom paycheck or something. Everyone gets a freedom paycheck every month. Of course, it's not free, and universal income is not based on free. It's based on basically the middle class paying for it. Lanny's saying, what do I think of Levi's as a core item? That's what got me into eBay, because I used to watch Prof Sales. I don't know if you guys remember Prof Sales. Jason is a great guy. He had a 5,000 Levi's challenge and he gave up. And I'm like, bro, don't give up. And he's like, oh, I don't want to do it anymore. So I was like, yes, 10K on the bay. I'm going to achieve this gigantic goal. So I started YouTube and it was very fun. And I think Levi's is a great way to build a business. Levi's sell year round. They're plentiful. You can get them for almost free. They're $50 to $70 brand new. I think it's a great thing. But make sure that the trends you follow well. Plus size Levi's and skinny Levi's sell the best for me. Alex, I agree with you. I'm a capitalism fan. I don't necessarily think it's going to work. I just think it's an interesting topic. Disability went from 50K to 20K due to health. Wow, big change. Do I sell vintage men's sport clothing? I do. I just sold a pair of vintage Levi's for $500. So universal basic income is created to keep all the poor quiet. Huh, that is interesting. The poor is not quiet though. They're so noisy, especially on social media. It's crazy. I don't know what it's insane. Like I wasn't on Instagram for a month. I felt like chains dropped from my body. It was so freeing. You have 271 Levi's listings. I probably have more than that. Whoa, John has 3,400 pairs of jeans. That's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of $9.99 jean sellers, so it's a challenging market. Let's see, new posh seller. You want to get to 1,000 listings. Do I think that's manageable for one person? You're a stay-at-home mom to a 13-month-old. Huh. 1,000 listings is definitely manageable for one person, and this is why I say that, because according to Drive Time with Dave, which I agree with, 40 listings is the maximum for a full-time person to stay sane. That's 200 listings a week. So let's say you are more like 50 listings a week because you have to take care of your kid. If you can get $10 of profit an item, that's $500 a week extra income. Fantastic side hustle. And let me do the math here. 1,000 listings. Yeah, you could probably get to more than that. You could probably get to 1,500 listings by yourself, depending if you just had regular clothing sell-through rates like 10 to 20%. It's not super fast. In fact, it's 99% of the people who complain online are clothing sellers because it's not a very good category, honestly. It's a lot. I feel like it's one of the biggest categories, if not the biggest category, as far as total volume, but it's very, 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 very competitive. Yeah, that's true. The white oak denim plant is no longer producing. That is awesome. I just sold some white oak jeans for, I think, $40, but probably could have gotten more if I wait a little bit longer. Yeah, no. Jason is now a fulfillment center. I don't know what he's doing, but I was able to meet. Um, I'm sad I didn't get to meet him when I went to eBay Open, but I did meet Karen. Karen is a very nice lady. 1,000 is a lot, but I think you can get a little bit more. Um, do I think I need to be passionate about reselling to be successful at it? No, you don't. In fact, um, it's probably better if you are very strategically money oriented and wholesale. As far as successful as in money, no, you don't need to be passionate. All you need to do is be good with numbers. You'll be fine, and just learn how to do wholesale. You'll make the most money. But if you want to have longevity in reselling, then certainly yes, passionate is good, because you're going to be spending a lot of time doing it. Might as well like it. Yeah, Revolve List is managing 1,000 on eBay and Posh on her own. Amazing. Also, there is something that I might charge for, but I'm not 100% sure I want to do, which is the macros that I have set up to help me list things and print things, and some of the automation that I made for printing labels and cross listing. I might end up selling that stuff eventually, but I don't know how to distribute that. I don't want to make an app because I don't want it to be that widespread. This is very odd, but it took me 6 months to make them, and it's such an advantage over other people because I can now list 40 items an hour. That's not normal, right? You can't list 40 items an hour solo. It's too hard without. I don't even think you can do it. I don't think you can click as fast as as software, right? So do I want to sell that and flood the market and then no longer have it be an advantage? Probably not. So I don't know if I want to share that kind of stuff, but that's an interesting thought. Your first goal on Poshmark is to clear $500 a month. It is hard work. There's no doubt about it. Oh yeah, Jason is now called Eat the Elephant. That's right. Wow. So Christine has over 1,000 listed on Poshmark, and she has 3 kids under 6. That's awesome. My friend Jen has 6 kids under 7. Wow, that's just so many kids. I don't know how she does that. That's true. Revolve is saying that on Poshmark you can grow to 1,000 listings a lot easier than eBay. I agree. I don't think Poshmark is strong enough to be your only platform. I stand by that. Of course, there are people like Suzanne Cannon that she just did $1 million on Poshmark, and she's only Poshmark. And I think she just got in the Macy's or something. She's going the actual brand route. She's awesome. I've been what's that called? Spying her store, not spying. I've been looking at her store for like a whole year now, looking at how she runs things. Very, very good seller. Trying to get to 125. Yeah, that's true. Budget is huge. I think people underestimate how much capital you need to build an eBay business. I mean, to just flip stuff online and make a little bit of money, you don't need hardly any money. But to build a business where you can have some employees and some help and consistent income, it takes a little bit of money. Yeah, that's true. Don't if you have a very, very high sell-through rate. I don't know if you guys saw Prince. Prince did I think he does 100K in sales with only 137 listings that sell every single day. All of his items sell every day, multiple times a day. So I think oh yeah, actually I can do the math for you guys. He has 137 items for sale, and I think he has 100 sales a day. Stalking, that's the word. Stalking. That's not a good word. I can't use that word. You can use that word, Maya, because you're female, but I've been spying her store. I'll use the word spying her store for the past year. But yeah, with 137 listings, he sells 100 a day, right? But they're all replenishable, and every single one of them, it's hooked up to the manufacturer. Okay, so like you can even find his store because he's one of the Shine Award winners. Candidate winners. So like and you still wouldn't necessarily be able to copy him because he's already spent the work meeting all those people. And that's something that in my mastermind call on Fridays, we talk about people. What are you doing to improve your processes? Who are you talking to? Who's in your neighborhood? What's your list look like with people? How are you meeting the right people? How are you networking? How do you get somebody's information so that you can do business with them? So I mean, the phone is how you make the most money reselling. You pick up the phone, meet somebody who can supply you some stuff. That's how you do it. It's not trolling. The word was stalking. I was stalking her store, looking at how she runs her auctions and I'm sorry, her listings. How long have I been reselling for? I don't miss being a one-man operation. I hated that. I hated being a one-man operation. I got to 16 grand a month by myself, and I hated that. I'd much rather make 5 grand a month with an operation than 16 grand a month by myself because it's like it's horrible. I don't know how else to explain. Like on being on the computer for 20 hours a day is not that fun. You know, like I'd rather make less and not have to do that. I've been reselling for a little over 2 years now total. Awesome. Christine did 80K last year with kids. That's inspiring. I love it. Do you need a wholesale license to buy wholesale? Uh, no, no, but you do need a wholesale license to not pay tax. I know. We're doing Australia. I want to do Australia for the honeymoon, but people are like, "That's too far away, bro. You're gonna spend two of your travel days just flying there and back." So it's interesting. Yeah, JM is right. It's all about finding the right product. If you find the right product, um, you'll make a fortune. Yeah, Alex, a resale license I think is the same thing as tax exempt. Here it is in California. It's usually free, so don't go to one of those websites and pay for someone to sign up for a resale license for you because I think it's free in every state. It just allows you to let the state know that you're going to be reselling the goods. Oh, that's a good question. So Anthony's asking, how do I appropriately and successfully distribute schedule my time? So this is what my schedule looks like. 4:30 in the morning, I always wake up. Now, I want to go to the gym, but most of the time I don't do anything until 5:45 when I get ready for my mastermind call. At 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, we talk about process. What are you guys improving? How are you guys getting rid of your death piles? You know, who's your supply? Whatever. We're talking about how to improve our business for an hour. 7 o'clock from 7 to 12, I describe 200 items. That's what I do in my business, and then at that stage, I go pick up all my items. And I pack them, and then my post office guy picks them up around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, as the last stop of his route before he goes to the post office. So I used to have a morning pickup because I wasn't selling enough items, and so it threw off my game a lot having to finish shipping in the morning. But now that I have enough packages that basically it's annoying to carry those packages around while they're delivering. So now I'm the last stop. So if you're in a residential area like me, that's something that you want to do. And then my storage does not have a fulfillment center. I can't leave my packages there to be picked up yet. That's actually the main reason I want to move to a commercial space so that I can not have to transport the packages back and forth. So then at 2 o'clock, I want to be done, and then I want to make one YouTube video, and I want to have to be as useful as possible, make it about other people. So meaning like I want the channel to be as useful as I can to you guys. And also I want to do long form. I like long form. I want to just talk about reselling for an hour. I'm going to make some more videos that are like, hey, this is how you do this, but that's like not my jam. And I'm not doing this. This is not my main income stream. So as much as people like 10-minute videos, how to make money, and then it just not my jam. I can't do that every single day. And then after that, hang out with the girl. I never miss fiance time ever. That's why I never have to repair my relationship with her. And that's probably a main thing. If you have a crappy relationship, it's going to suck up all your time. So I do my best to take care of her. Normally, I hang out with her Tuesday nights because we do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday religiously, but she's having a hard time at work, so we're not hanging out today. That's why I'm making a video, honestly. But yeah, my time is split between is very strict. I just wish that from 4:30 to 5:45 I would actually go to the gym. I don't regularly do that. I only do it once or twice a week, and I should just go every day. There's no reason for me not to go. I'm literally awake. I just don't go. So not the best. I don't need a heater for the garage because I work faster when it's cold. I don't know why that is. If you guys are still watching, smash that like button and let me know if you work better when it's cold. When it's hot, I just want to be lazy. When it's cold, I want to get my work done and then get out. You have 100 Nintendo Switch tables. I would do everything. If I had 100, I would do all online websites and also in person. That's smart. You give your postal worker a key. I could do that, but it would be hard. Anthony, yeah, I have very specific times with her. Tuesday, Thursday, evening, and then Saturday all day. We've been doing the same thing for 7 years. I did a reseller conference last year with the reseller fam, and we're not going to do a second event together, but I might do another conference together. But I don't know exactly the process of setting up another conference, but I would do it again. So if you guys have some ideas, I probably want to go East Coast, just meet some new people. What's up, Rising Grind Picker? I just want to get the right people together that want to discuss how to improve. I loved our event in Kansas City. It was a smashing hit. It was so good. We had 10 speakers. Everybody brought the heat. Everyone had great ideas and input. What products to buy, how to present your systems, how to do taxes, like all that stuff was amazing. I learned so much from that event, and eBay picked up most of the bill. So it's like eBay was very, 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 very gracious with their sponsorship to allow us to really put that together. The event actually is still lost money, even though eBay put up a gigantic amount of money. It still lost money. So it was like very, 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 very stressful for me. So I don't know if I want to plan. I'm not going to group plan an event. I might do something just myself, or I would love to be a helper if somebody wants to do another event. I can help, but doing a group based event was the most stressful thing I've done in my reselling career so far. Was that conference. Brutal. Thank you, Anthony, for the super chat. Yeah, Illinois would be dope. I should do it. I should do it in Illinois for sure. I am sad that I didn't visit Craigslist Hunter's shop while I was in Chicago, but I didn't rent the car. So next time I'll do that. Buffalo sounds fun. I'm going to New York this weekend. Let's see. Awesome, Anthony. Yeah, you guys can all email me at chris@dailyrefinement.com if you have any questions. I usually respond within a couple days. All right, guys. So I just want you to think about what you would do with an extra $1,000 in your business, if it would relieve any tension, or if it would give you guys any more freedom, or maybe it doesn't affect your business at all. But I think it's important to think about stuff like this. Everyone have a great day. Have a great night. I'll see you guys more regularly now that my stuff is a little bit more clean. And see you guys soon. Take care.